other options. You could have this import. Alternatively, you have the icon here. Personally, I prefer the right-click. We right-click, import, and we search for the file. For my case, I put the file on desktop. Anyway, the file that you should work with is called Demo Lesson 3 ABC Company English Arabic. As I said, it is available on the library and you can get it for your training. Otherwise, you can create your own file with the same name and with the same information in that file. Open. It will take some time, depending on the size of the file. Anyway, cat tools are usually slow. This one it should be 64x, which means it should be faster, I don't know. Now it's making all the preview it needs. It's making certain processes like the XML, HTML, and other things because there is a preview. There are lots of things that the program is doing. Anyway, we wait for that until it gives us the file as we want. Now it has finished. Now we are inside the project and we have this file. Remember, we can have here in this place several files for the same company, but here we have this file. It's telling me about the progress T0, which means translated nothing. R10, the reviewer, the first reviewer has reviewed nothing, and the reviewer 2 has reviewed nothing. So here gives you displays the details of the progress. Anyway, we don't want to bother ourselves with it right now. Maybe we can talk about it when we talk about the advanced options. Highlight it, please, now. After you highlight it, I want you now to double-click. Double-click the file. It will take some time to open. So, very good now. What we have here, let's now get down to business, as we say. We have the real work that we are trying to do. What we are going to do here is to simply translate what we have here into there. Here we have two segments, the first one and the second one. The English segment, the Arabic segment. What I want to do now is to translate. While I am translating, look at the preview, because here MemoQ gives me a preview. It tells me how the document will look like after I finish translation. Let's translate. القطة تطارد Please translate it like this. القطة تطارد الفئران. Now I want to move to the second segment. Click here, no problem if you can click. For the time being, I want you to click, but for next time, we will do something else. الكلب يطارد القطة. You can correct whatever you want. We move by the arrow or by the click also, and please translate this one as follows. هناك ثلاثة كلاب وثلاثة قطط وثلاثة فئران. Sorry, there is a mistake here in the mouse. It should be mice, not mouse. So let me correct it first. I will do something for the correction, no problem. I'm sorry for the mistake. I've just corrected it and changed the file. Anyway, just please write as I have just written. What do we have here? We have the translation, but it's not yet ready. In order for MemoQ to work, I have to enter my translation into what's called the memory, the same memory that I created. So, in order to to do so, what I have to do is to confirm each segment, to say that this is the translation that I want. To make it easier to understand, can you notice this X, which is red? What does it say? MemoQ says that the translation is not confirmed. You may unlock this row by double-clicking this icon, etc. It says it's not confirmed. It is not confirmed, it means it's not inside the memory. What we want to do now for this exercise is to enter everything we write in the memory. So, let's enter this in the memory. Right-click, and you go to the confirm. Where is the confirm? Down, down, down. Yes, this is confirm, and as you can see, the shortcut is Control and Enter. It's not only Enter, but Control and Enter. So we will confirm. Please do the same. Confirm the first one. After you confirm the first one, it will jump into the second one. And here the preview, a very good preview. It tells you everything what's here. And the same thing, let's put now Control and Enter. And then finally Control and Enter as well. The computer would say now that everything is fine and that it has just translated everything. Now, when I put your mouse here on number 1 and see what's happening, is that the computer is telling you that it has stored into the memory this one, and also it has this one. This one is 100.1% of match, and this one is 70% of match. We will explain in the advanced options what we mean by all of these things. For the time being, I know that you need lots of patience, because at the end of the day, why should I need the memory? Why should I need the term base? Anyway, this is for the exercise. For the time being, just do what I am telling you to do. But here we have a problem, by the way. Let's go back to the file that we were working with. We have something in red, something in yellow. What about the review? Something in green. But here in MemoQ we have a problem, because all of them are now without any color, without anything. When you have such a thing, then it means there is a mistake. And the mistake that we have here is that we haven't taken any consideration of the what we call tags. Can you see these ones? The RPR here, RPR. It can have several names. These are called tags, and they should be kept in the translation as they were in the original text. So, we go to the first one, القطة تطارد الفأرة. Where are the tags? One of them is before the cat and one of the after. So, القطة before and after. How to insert the tag? In order to insert the cat, I would like to ask you now to press just the control button. When you press the control button, the tags are here and you can choose them. Press enter. We have put the first one. Let's move with the arrow. I'm moving with the arrow, and please move with the arrow. Again, control, press enter. The mice, now we have control, enter, and control, enter. We haven't finished yet. You see, you look at the preview, it doesn't change at all. What we need to do now is to confirm. So please control and enter. Now we have changed the control and enter. What happened? You can see in the preview, you can see that the MemoQ program has simply maintained the colors and the formatting of the original text. You have another way of doing so. Go to the source segment, what we call the source segment. This is the original English. And here I want you to highlight the first one and then Right click, copy, not copy source, please. This is wrong. Copy, Control C, the same Control C, and go there. Now Control and V, Control and V, Control and V. You see this one? The same thing here now. Control C, Control V, Control C again, and Control V. That's good. Now what do you find here? We have a mark. This is an error, which means that there is something wrong with the tags. If you double click, it gives you that the tags are not put correctly. So the program also tells you if you are making any mistakes in the tags. Now Control and Enter. Let's do the same now with the I'm correcting myself, sorry again for the typing mistake. So the first one is Kilab. We put this one, and finally Control. I'm putting Control and put you to put Control, please, and then Control and Enter. We're done. Now we are done. The file is ready for export. We will export, but before we export the file, we need to make sure that we understand something. What we are translating now is entered into the memory. In other words, even if you erase all your files and keep the memory will still have this translation there preserved. What I want to do now is to export the file that I have done. In order to export the file, I would like to ask you please to go to this one, to the documents. In the documents, we have export. Do not press the icon. Press the arrow, please, now. Click the arrow. You will have the options. For the time being, I want you just to choose export dialog because I want to store it on the desktop. Just store it on the desktop. Let's see what will happen. And change its name into, just add the letter 0 to it and save and wait. We have now exported the file into the document, and now it will automatically open. What we'll have, here you are, the translation is ready. The translation now is ready. The same format, everything is fine. Now, what we want to do is to close it, please. Close this file. Now, I will explain this moment, at this very moment. I will explain to you why we need the memory. What's the benefit of the memory? Whenever you want to buy a software like MemoQ, Trados, or whatsoever, usually the vendor would ask you this question: do you have repetitions in your work? Let's see what he means by that. Remember, we have a memory. The scenario now is that the agency, which is ABC Company, told you we have another five-fold translation, and it said to you, please understand that you have certain elements repeated in document that was translated before, and we want you to translate things as they are. Let's see the file, and please now open the file which is called Demo 2 Lesson 3. Let's open the file which is called Demo 2 Lesson 3 Repetitions. Let's see. Now here is the file. As you can see in this file, The first three sentences are all repeated all over the document. Let's assume that this is what happened. This is really what happened. Fine. Close the document now. And I want you to import it into MemoQ, but this time not by this one, nor by this one here, the icon, but I want to drag and drop it. This is the third way of doing it. Drag and drop. It will take some time. Now open the file. Remember, we're using the same memory that we just created and that we just entered our information. Let's see what will happen. The first thing that you have here on the right, it tells you that it has already something stored and it gives you the percentage. So when you double click, this one appears here. Okay, please go to the second one now and the same thing. Click the 101%, the third one, 100%, it's okay. Next one, you see? You can click them and it saves your time. It also saves your efforts. Okay, we will try another way. We will try another way and please just pay attention to what I am doing. I want to tell MemoQ, since it is stored in your memory, and since everything is repeated in this document, why don't you do the job? Why do I have to choose every segment? Why don't you do it? Just please, you do it. We would like here now to go to the following options. Go please to Preparation. Preparation. Under Preparation, I want you now to go to Pre-Translate. Please click Pre-Translate. Pre-Translate, it has good match, exact match with context. We will talk about that in the advanced options. We will change these options, but I want you now to do is to click OK. What will happen? What happens now is simply that the program translated everything that has a high percentage of compatibility with the memory. Yes, the file has been translated. The file now is translated. What we need to do now is to confirm that this is the right translation. To confirm, I would like you to do the following. Control, Shift, and A. Control, Shift, and A. Press the three together. Now you want to confirm all of them. Right-click anywhere and then confirm, which is the same as Control and Enter. Right-click, so Control and Enter, or right-click confirm, and we're done. We do the export again. Let's do the export again. We go to the documents. As I have just said to you, click the export. You can go to the dialog or whatsoever. Anyway, I'm pressing now export with the dialog. You can do the same thing. So it has exported the document and now you can view it. The same format, the same thing. This is an ideal situation. Usually we have not 100% compatibility, usually we have something less. Please close the file. That's all about the memory and that's all about importing and exporting the file. I hope it was clear. We move now to the term base. This project is linked to the term base. How do you know that? Go please to the project home. On the project homes, I would like you to go to the term base. It is here. Yes, it is linked to the ABC company. What I want you to do now, go back to translations, and here on the tab, we're working on this file. What we want to do is to enter the words into the term base. What we do now is to compare and contrast. In the first segment, this one, highlight by double-clicking the word cat. Remove the mouse, please. It's still highlighted. Go to the next segment in Arabic. It is al-qitta. Please highlight it by double-clicking. Here we have two things highlighted. Let's right-click and go to the one which says add term, and it's going to be this one. The shortcut is Ctrl and E. Please click this one. What will happen? Here you are. MemoQ has opened the term base and said, is this what you want? Cat in English, al-qitta in Arabic. What I want you to do is to notice that al-qitta is already added because you have just added it, and cat is added, you haven't confirmed by OK. Before doing the OK, I would like to ask you also to highlight this al-qitta and say al-hirra. Write al-hirra and click this one. Add a new term, just click it. What happens here is that you have two terms in Arabic for one term in English. This is the only way that you can add several words meaning the same thing for one word in English. We will later on talk about the problems and mistakes when people enter into the term bases wrong words. Please click OK. Now what will happen? What will happen? Go to any segment containing al-qitta. You see what happens automatically. MemoQ in segment number 5, which I have just chosen, is highlighting the word cat, and it tells me that it is al-qitta. Look at the side here, al-qitta. In other words, if I store all the terms that I have, whenever I am translating, the term base will help me remember the words and how I wrote them and the meaning of these words. Go to the segment in Arabic al-qitta. I would like you to do now is to press the control button. This is the control button. What I want you to do is to write the first letter, only the first letter of al-qitta, which is alif. What happens? Now the computer, the MemoQ, is giving you two options. It's al-qitta or al-hirra. Please press the down arrow. It goes to al-hirra, the up arrow, al-qitta, and so on. And you can choose which one you want. Then press enter. Now here you have the word. For that reason, if you have a very long word, you can just press the first letter and it will give you the rest of it. So far, we're done now with this file. We're done now with the term base and memory. There will be still some questions about the term base and memories, but for that, at the time being, we can say that we have started to translate using MemoQ. You can make your experiments as much as you can. You can choose any file you want following the steps. Of course, there will be mistakes, but also there will be stories of success that we will hear from you. For the time being, I would urge you to use MemoQ only as an experiment. Do not use any real life project, something that your customer has asked you, because there is a very good chance that you will make mistakes. And if you make mistakes in a real project, you will be in a problem. You will not be able to know how to do with your client. So my suggestion is that after trials and experiments and errors and corrections, after you master the program, you will need to remove everything from this memory, everything from the term base, everything from the experiments that you have made, uninstall the program if necessary, install it again, clean, and start your work in a professional way. I hope that you have understood what we have been talking about. It needs more exercises, which I hope that you will make. And for the time being, I would like just to review with you some of the basic goals of this exercise of today. We talked about memory, how to create the memory, and we said it stores everything in your translation. We talked about how to confirm the translation so that it goes to the memory. The term base is optional, but it's very useful. It saves you time and effort. You can insert into the term base your words, expressions, so that you can retrieve them in future projects. However, although you can use Excel sheets in order to import them into the term base, you still need to be cautious because there is a specific way for doing that, and this is something that we will explain in some lessons ahead of us. Remember to use the demo lesson 3 and also the demo 2 lesson 3 for the work of the projects. In order to create a project, you name it first of all, and you click the icon or whatever the other option on the menu bar, and then you have to link it with the memory and term base. Then you import the file that you want to translate, or files sometimes. It could be more than one file, either by right-click import, either by the menu bar, or you can simply drag and drop. We talked about removing a file from the project. Never remove it from your computer, but remove it from inside MemoQ, as we explained. We have some important shortcuts that you will work with all the time. Control alone is review and choose the inputs. Memory confirm it's Control and Enter, Control and D for the glossary, Control and A for select all inside the segment, Control Shift All. It is to choose all the segments together. With this, we finish our lesson today. Thank you very much for listening. And in lesson 4, we will talk in more details about the term base and how to use it inside the MemoQ. Thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.